The testing of faith in the camp of Israel. Command. Listen, O Israel. Yahavah is our Elohim, Yahavah alone. And you must love Yahavah your Elohim with all your heart, all your soul, and all your strength. Counsel. Yahavah our Elohim has secrets known to no one. We are not accountable for them, but we and our children are accountable forever for all that He has revealed to us, so that we may obey all the terms of these instructions. The faithful among the rebellious. Let both grow together until the harvest. Then I will tell the harvesters to sort out the weeds, tie them into bundles and burn them, and to put the wheat in the barn. The 12 scouts of Israel and Israel's rebellion. But Caleb tried to quiet the people as they stood before Moses. Let's go at once to take the land, he said. We can certainly conquer it. And if Yahavah is pleased with us, He will bring us safely into that land and give it to us. It is a rich land flowing with milk and honey. Do not rebel against Yahavah, and don't be afraid of the people of the land. They are only helpless prey to us. They have no protection, but Yahavah is with us. Don't be afraid of them. But the other men who had explored the land with him disagreed. We can't go up against them. They are stronger than we are. So they spread this bad report about the land among the Israelites. The land we traveled through and explored will devour anyone who goes to live there. All the people we saw were huge. We even saw giants there, the descendants of Anak. Next to them we felt like grasshoppers, and that's what they thought too. Then the whole community began weeping aloud, and they cried all night. Their voices rose in a great chorus of protest against Moses and Aaron. If only we had died in Egypt, or even here in the wilderness, they complained. Why is Yahavah taking us to this country only to have us die in battle? Our wives and our little ones will be carried off as plunder. Wouldn't it be better for us to return to Egypt? Then they plotted among themselves, let's choose a new leader and go back to Egypt. Then Moses and Aaron fell face down on the ground before the whole community of Israel. 2 of the men who had explored the land, Joshua son of Nun and Caleb son of Jephunneh, tore their clothing. They said to all the people of Israel, the land we traveled through and explored is a wonderful land. Moses intercedes for Israel's rebellion. But Moses objected. What will the Egyptians think when they hear about it? He asked Yahavah. They know full well the power you displayed in rescuing your people from Egypt. Now if you destroy them, the Egyptians will send a report to the inhabitants of this land, who have already heard that you live among your people. They know, Yahavah, that you have appeared to your people face to face, and that your pillar of cloud hovers over them. They know that you go before them in the pillar of cloud by day, and the pillar of fire by night. Now if you slaughter all these people with a single blow, the nations that have heard of your fame will say, Yahavah was not able to bring them into the land He swore to give them, so He killed them in the wilderness. Please, Yahavah, prove that your power is as great as you have claimed. For you said, Yahavah is slow to anger and filled with unfailing love, forgiving every kind of sin and rebellion. But He does not excuse the guilty. He lays the sins of the parents upon their children. The entire family is affected, even children in the 3rd and 4th generations. In keeping with your magnificent, unfailing love, please pardon the sins of this people, just as you have forgiven them ever since they left Egypt. Then Yahavah said, I will pardon them as you have requested. But as surely as I live, and as surely as the earth is filled with Yahavah's glory, not one of these people will ever enter that land. They have all seen my glorious presence and the miraculous signs I performed both in Egypt and in the wilderness. But again and again they have tested me by refusing to listen to my voice. They will never even see the land I swore to give their ancestors. None of those who have treated me with contempt will ever see it. But my servant Caleb has a different attitude than the others have. He has remained loyal to me, so I will bring him into the land he explored. His descendants will possess their full share of that land. Now turn around, and don't go on toward the land where the Amalekites and Canaanites live. Tomorrow you must set out for the wilderness in the direction of the Red Sea. Be careful to obey all the commands I am giving you today. Then you will live and multiply, and you will enter and occupy the land Yahavah swore to give your ancestors. Remember how Yahavah your Elohim led you through the wilderness for these 40 years, humbling you and testing you to prove your character, and to find out whether or not you would obey His commands. Yes, He humbled you by letting you go hungry and then feeding you with manna, a food previously unknown to you and your ancestors. He did it to teach you that people do not live by bread alone. Rather, we live by every word that comes from the mouth of Yahavah. He fed you with manna in the wilderness, a food unknown to your ancestors. He did this to humble you and test you for your own good. He did all this so you would never say to yourself, I have achieved this wealth with my own strength and energy. Suppose there are prophets among you, or those who dream dreams about the future, and they promise you signs or miracles, and the predicted signs or miracles occur. If they then say, Come, let us worship other gods, gods you have not known before, do not listen to them. Yahavah your Elohim is testing you to see if you truly love him with all your heart and soul. Serve only Yahavah your Elohim and fear him alone. Obey his commands, listen to his voice, and cling to him. Moses summoned all the Israelites and said to them, You have seen with your own eyes everything Yahavah did in the land of Egypt to Pharaoh, and to all his servants, and to his whole country. All the great tests of strength, the miraculous signs, and the amazing wonders. But to this day Yahavah has not given you minds that understand, nor eyes that see, nor ears that hear. For 40 years I led you through the wilderness, yet your clothes and sandals did not wear out. You ate no bread and drank no wine or other alcoholic drink, but he provided for you so you would know that he is Yahavah your Elohim. Idolatry in Israel's camp. When they came near the camp, Moses saw the calf and the dancing, and he burned with anger. He threw the stone tablets to the ground, smashing them at the foot of the mountain. He took the calf they had made and burned it. Then he ground it into powder, threw it into the water, and forced the people to drink it. Finally, he turned to Aaron and demanded, What did these people do to you to make you bring such terrible sin upon them? Don't get so upset, my master, Aaron replied. You yourself know how evil these people are. They said to me, Make us gods who will lead us. We don't know what happened to this fellow Moses, who brought us here from the land of Egypt. Command on loyalty and obedience to Elohim. If you love your father or mother more than you love me, you are not worthy of being mine. Or if you love your son or daughter more than me, you are not worthy of being mine. If you refuse to take up your cross and follow me, you are not worthy of being mine. If you cling to your life, you will lose it. But if you give up your life for me, you will find it. The Levites and their obedience and loyalty to Elohim's commands. So he stood at the entrance to the camp and shouted, All of you who are on Yahavah's side, come here and join me. And all the Levites gathered around him. Moses told them, This is what Yahavah, the Elohim of Israel, says. Each of you, take your swords and go back and forth from one end of the camp to the other. Kill everyone, even your brothers, friends, and neighbors. The Levites obeyed Moses' command, and about 3,000 people died that day. Then Moses told the Levites, Today you have ordained yourselves for the service of Yahavah, for you obeyed him even though it meant killing your own sons and brothers. Today you have earned a blessing. And Yahavah said to Moses, Look, I have chosen the Levites from among the Israelites to serve as substitutes for all the firstborn sons of the people of Israel. The Levites belong to me. At that time Yahavah set apart the tribe of Levi to carry the ark of Yahavah's covenant, and to stand before Yahavah as his ministers, and to pronounce blessings in his name. These are their duties to this day. That is why the Levites have no share of property or possession of land among the other Israelite tribes. Yahavah himself is their special possession, as Yahavah your Elohim told them. Moses said this about the tribe of Levi, O Yahavah, you have given your Thummim and Urim, the sacred lots, to your faithful servants the Levites. You put them to the test at Massah and struggled with them at the waters of Meribah. The Levites obeyed your word and guarded your covenant. They were more loyal to you than to their own parents. They ignored their relatives and did not acknowledge their own children. Command on showing faithfulness to Elohim's commands. You must faithfully keep all my commands by putting them into practice, for I am Yahavah. Do not bring shame on my holy name, for I will display my holiness among the people of Israel. I am Yahavah who makes you holy. To the faithful you show yourself faithful. To those with integrity you show integrity. King Asa and his act of faith in the midst of idolatry. Then the spirit of Elohim came upon Azariah son of Oded, and he went out to meet King Asa as he was returning from the battle. Listen to me, Asa, he shouted. Listen, all you people of Judah and Benjamin, Yahavah will stay with you as long as you stay with him. Whenever you seek him, you will find him. But if you abandon him, he will abandon you. For a long time Israel was without the true Elohim, without a priest to teach them, and without the law to instruct them. But whenever they were in trouble and turned to Yahavah, the Elohim of Israel, and sought him out, they found him. When Asa heard this message from Azariah the prophet, he took courage and removed all the detestable idols from the land of Judah and Benjamin, and in the towns he had captured in the hill country of Ephraim. And he repaired the altar of Yahavah, which stood in front of the entry room of Yahavah's temple. Then Asa called together all the people of Judah and Benjamin, along with the people of Ephraim, Manasseh, and Simeon who had settled among them. For many from Israel had moved to Judah during Asa's reign, when they saw that Yahavah his Elohim was with him. The people gathered at Jerusalem in late spring, during the 15th year of Asa's reign. On that day they sacrificed to Yahavah 700 cattle and 7,000 sheep and goats from the plunder they had taken in the battle. Then they entered into a covenant to seek Yahavah, the Elohim of their ancestors, with all their heart and soul. They agreed that anyone who refused to seek Yahavah, the Elohim of Israel, would be put to death, whether young or old, man or woman. They shouted out their oath of loyalty to Yahavah with trumpets blaring and ram's horns sounding. All in Judah were happy about this covenant, for they had entered into it with all their heart. They earnestly sought after Elohim, and they found him. And Yahavah gave them rest from their enemies on every side. King Asa even deposed his grandmother Maacah from her position as queen mother, because she had made an obscene Asherah pole. He cut down her obscene pole, broke it up, and burned it in the Kidron Valley. Although the pagan shrines were not removed from Israel, Asa's heart remained completely faithful throughout his life. He brought into the temple of Elohim the silver and gold and the various items that he and his father had dedicated. So there was no more war until the 35th year of Asa's reign. A call to loyalty and faithfulness in the midst of the rebellion and idolatry around us. But don't just listen to Elohim's word. You must do what it says. Otherwise, you are only fooling yourselves. What good is it, dear brothers and sisters, if you say you have faith but don't show it by your actions? Can that kind of faith save anyone? Suppose you see a brother or sister who has no food or clothing, and you say, "Goodbye and have a good day, stay warm and eat well." But then you don't give that person any food or clothing. What good does that do? So you see, faith by itself isn't enough. Unless it produces good deeds, it is dead and useless. Don't you remember that our ancestor Abraham was shown to be right with Elohim by his actions when he offered his son Isaac on the altar? You see, his faith and his actions worked together. His actions made his faith complete. And so it happened just as the scriptures say. Abraham believed Elohim, and Elohim counted him as righteous because of his faith. He was even called the friend of Elohim. So you see, we are shown to be right with Elohim by what we do, not by faith alone. But the wisdom from above is first of all pure. It is also peace-loving, gentle at all times, and willing to yield to others. It is full of mercy and the fruit of good deeds. It shows no favoritism and is always sincere. And those who are peacemakers will plant seeds of peace and reap a harvest of righteousness. But the gateway to life is very narrow, and the road is difficult, and only a few ever find it. Not everyone who calls out to me, "Master, Master," will enter the kingdom of heaven. Only those who actually do the will of my Father in heaven will enter. Carefully determine what pleases the Master. Take no part in the worthless deeds of evil and darkness, instead expose them. Be careful to live properly among your unbelieving neighbors. Then even if they accuse you of doing wrong, they will see your honorable behavior, and they will give honor to Elohim when he judges the world. He gave his life to free us from every kind of sin, to cleanse us, and to make us his very own people, totally committed to doing good deeds. In the same way, let your good deeds shine out for all to see, so that everyone will praise your heavenly Father. Let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works. But you belong to Elohim, my dear children. You have already won a victory over those people, because the Spirit who lives in you is greater than the spirit who lives in the world. Teach these new disciples to obey all the commands I have given you, and be sure of this: I am with you always, even to the end of the age. The promise of rest for our souls. Then Emmanuel said, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls." Praise Yahavah, the Elohim of Israel, because he has visited and redeemed his people. He has sent us a mighty Savior from the royal line of his servant David, just as he promised through his holy prophets long ago. Now we will be saved from our enemies and from all who hate us. He has been merciful to our ancestors by remembering his sacred covenant, the covenant he swore with an oath to our ancestor Abraham. We have been rescued from our enemies, so we can serve Elohim without fear, in holiness and righteousness for as long as we live. To give light to those who sit in darkness and in the shadow of death, and to guide us to the path of peace. In the cloud and in the sea, all of them were baptized as followers of Moses. All of them ate the same spiritual food, and all of them drank the same spiritual water. For they drank from the spiritual rock that traveled with them, and that rock was the Messiah. Yet Elohim was not pleased with most of them, and their bodies were scattered in the wilderness. These things happened as a warning to us, so that we would not crave evil things as they did, or worship idols as some of them did. As the scriptures say, the people celebrated with feasting and drinking, and they indulged in pagan revelry. And we must not engage in sexual immorality as some of them did, causing 23,000 of them to die in one day. Nor should we put the Messiah to the test, as some of them did, and then died from snake bites. And don't grumble as some of them did, and then were destroyed by the angel of death. These things happened to them as examples for us. They were written down to warn us who live at the end of the age. Elohim's promise of entering his rest still stands, so we ought to tremble with fear that some of you might fail to experience it. For this good news, that Elohim has prepared this rest, has been announced to us just as it was to them. But it did them no good because they didn't share the faith of those who listen to Elohim. For only we who believe can enter his rest. As for the others, Elohim said, "In my anger I took an oath. They will never enter my place of rest, even though this rest has been ready since he made the world." So Elohim's rest is there for people to enter, but those who first heard this good news failed to enter because they disobeyed Elohim. So there is a special rest still waiting for the people of Elohim. For all who have entered into Elohim's rest have rested from their labors, just as Elohim did after creating the world. So let us do our best to enter that rest. But if we disobey Elohim, as the people of Israel did, we will fall. Dear children, keep away from anything that might take Elohim's place in your hearts. So my dear friends, flee from the worship of idols. Put your trust in the light while there is still time, then you will become children of the light. After saying these things, Emmanuel went away and was hidden from them.